All right, who else want to share and tell us why you did that? Okay, is this, which one of these is this one?
That's going on along with on the red area. I did ice cream at the top. That's probably my number one. And it's so funny. I was just talking to somebody today on the phone that I don't buy ice cream too much because if I buy it, I'm gonna eat the whole half a gallon like within a day or two. And it's just me at home. So obviously it's full of calories or whatnot. And of course, I'm overboard in serving size. Probably what's more popular for most people is sodas and energy drinks, and just full of empty calories. And then of course, lastly, going back to the cookies thing, Oreo cookies.
Wow. Don't you remember taking those Oreos and doing them like that and scraping that stuff out of the middle of it? And that was just a bomb. But also, if the single thread that was in here on our video was children.
Mm-hmm.
And when you power up with protein, you can play better.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, that's any of it. That's adults as well.
Mhm.
So when you eat all this, it means you have to lose. Part of the acronym for the lean is lifestyle, E is exercise, and A is their attitude, and N is nutrition. So if you're gonna have more red light, what was the suggestion, if you remember? Do you remember the suggestion that Dr. Sears made in the film, that if you have red light, what could you do with it? What could you do with that particular dish? The lady that made the enchiladas?
Put it on a more greens.
What was that?
Put more greens.
Yeah.
Right. If you're gonna have red light, if you're gonna have like the pasta, the cheese and all that, what would you have on the side?
So
And you would have a smaller portion of that, and if you did portion control, just think about a plate and take the plate and half in it, because all of that half side would be the green light stuff, would be all of that great stuff, and then you would have just a portion, a fourth of that would be with that enchilada, okay? Yeah. With that, and then you have some type of fruit or something up at the top. So that plate would be in 3 portions, right? So that's what it is. Okay, that's pretty good. Okay, who's next?
I chose 3 of my favorite fruits and vegetables. I chose tomatoes and grapes, and then had squash and zucchini and green beans.
Okay. So is this something that you just chose out of the paper, or is this something that you use on a regular in your house?
Oh no, I love vegetables. My family not so much, but
They
I
don't?
love no.
Oh, and how old are your children?
Mary's 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, one.
She's Mexican, and
Okay.
she's very picky. She doesn't have a problem with portion control. Oh, she eats like this much at every little. So she's good at grazing. She's just not good at grazing on
The right things. The right things. Okay, well, I have a question then for the more experienced of one of us in here. What were some of the things maybe that you might have used when your children were coming up to have them to eat more vegetables or eat fish, or what was some of the things that you used, or were you successful in it?
I wasn't successful at all, especially with this one. She would sit at the table all day, just trying to eat one thing that I'm forcing on her.
Yeah.
But you know what? One thing though that I can remember as a child growing up is when we wanted to just eat a snack, she'd say, get an apple. You know, that was like, we always had fruit in our house. Oranges and apples were prominent. So it wasn't where we would just say, can I have some chips? You know,
Right.
I know we're guilty of that. Alex comes in and I'll say, if we don't have any fruit, at that moment I might say, well, you can get a few chips, but if we have more fruit and vegetables, I just say, get an apple or get an orange. And so I remember that really helped us a lot.
So you did do something with it.
Yeah.
You did that.
Couldn't get her to eat beans. So.
No, I still don't.
All right, so we got everybody covered tonight?
You did get me.
Okay, all right, let's have you.
I'm gonna slow down, and that I chose rice and pasta and baked chicken.
Okay, that's a good choice. Why did you choose chicken rather than beef?
Didn't even think about it.
No.
Yeah,
I mean-
but I'm really not a beef eater, Okay. I usually do chicken. For the first time I did beef, slow cooked the pot roast not too long ago, but we usually do chicken, whole chicken. And I don't usually do white rice, I usually do brown rice. But
Wonderful.
with this, I would have to go a little bit less with it because it's white rice in my pasta.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, I've got a treat for you. We're gonna have this right here. This is, I'm coming to the table with it. While we're doing that, because I want us to think about, since we've been here tonight to hear about this, I want you to think about setting some goals. What do you think that after we've gone through this, what do you think that you might be able to go away from here? Let's open that, getting stuck. To go away from here and start one thing, because it's so important to set goals. We are not, I know, it's important to set goals about what you think you might be able to start. What do you think that you could do? Because we have to set a goal.
Me personally, I think portion control more of the green as opposed to the red. Even in the smaller plates.
Yeah.
Okay,
That would, I mean, that's something like we can do tonight.
okay. Smaller
Would
plates.
definitely-
Well, okay, now, you know, we're just using this for tonight, for this one. Okay, you want to be able to put your couple of chips on here and let you, I know normally you all will get your own, but, you know, I'm just trying to be loving here tonight, huh?
Thank you.
Because I want you to, as you're enjoying this, let me know how you enjoy it. 'Cause this is, I added now, I put this up a little bit, and I have to, that's good. You have to reach in there and get some, and let's continue to talk about our goal setting, because that's what I'm after. Because now that we've learned what the Lean Start program is, with the traffic light and portion control, can someone tell me what the L stands for in Lean?
Lifestyle.
Okay,
That's delicious.
what did you say?
That's delicious.
It's delicious? Okay. Aha, well, Dr. Sears is gonna be glad to know that, but I did want to let you know that I did alter that recipe, because I put in a teaspoon, I used, that is, the recipe is 2 avocados, and I put in 3 tablespoons of salsa, and I added 1 teaspoon of turmeric in it. And I think that just gives it the kick.
That's great.
And refrigerate it, I think it's great.
I almost chose avocado for my caution, and I was wondering, should I have?
You can, absolutely. Avocados is one of the best brain foods, along with walnuts, that we can have. Yes, ma'am. In your caution food, it's really good for you. As a matter of fact, later on, in the 6-course study, we have different, at different chapters, we discuss certain foods. So, later on, we would be able to really look into some specific foods, okay, to pull them out. Because we know that if we do not get what we like, we're not going to be continuous on it. Am I telling the truth? Okay, that's true.
That's my greatest weakness,
That's your, what?
is not getting things I like, so I'm just turned off by.
Right. And so all of us are creatures of habit, right? So we just all usually focus on the things that we've had, pretty much that we're brought up on, and trying new things. We know that it takes time to make a change. But once we've learned about the traffic light, we've learned about the different areas now, we realize that we got green, that we can go. You can look at a whole bunch of foods that you can have. We look at the yellow, we can slow down, okay? But anytime that you have the yellow light foods, then as we think in our goal setting, that we have the yellow light foods, if you have a question, add a what food? Add a what
Green.
food?
Green.
A green, so you can balance it out. And even if you know that you've had a lot of things that you've had and you've been in the red, because you know next month will be November.
Right.
Mhm.
It will be the holiday and you know what will be on until the 1st of January. So I'm so glad that you all had the opportunity to come and share with us tonight and be here and to learn about this traffic light and portion control now, so you can activate it. You have your activities that you can take home and share not only with your children, but with other family members. If you know that there are what Dr. Sears calls overfat, and we know that getting into this area is our problem area. So I need to hear one goal from each individual, so I can make sure that I hear about that. What was your goal setting?
Portion control.
Yours would be portion control.
Mhm.
That's something that you can start right away.
Right.
Mine is portion control, as well as getting on top of these red lights, I got it
Mhm.
really put a stop to them, because I'm really bad right now.
Okay. Well, I would like to invite you sometime for us to come and sit down and talk, and we can go over more of the foods in depth and make some better choices. I also, maybe later on, can help you with what's called a pantry makeover. As a service, we do now a pantry makeover. Yes, and that pantry makeover is just wonderful, because then you'll be able to look at what you have. And the pantry makeover is never to throw away anything that you have, because we want you to start where you are. So you just look at what you have and what the different things that you have. We have the little, it's a whole little kit. You have the little stickers for the red light, the green light, and the yellow light. And then when you realize that you have a red light food, you can add some yellow and add some green, and you can balance it out. That way, when you use everything in there, you've done that. Then when you go to the grocery store, we also do a shopping service. You can go to the grocery store and then look at the different things that you can better bring to your family now that you have knowledge of it, okay? So yours is portion control, and yours is portion control, and stop at the red. And what would yours be?
I want to increase more of my green light food, so more fruits and vegetables.
Okay, that's your goal. And Ms. Rachel, what's your goal?
Well, I think that since Maddie is 7, I think I will whip out the construction paper and we will practice. We will do this at
Sounds
home.
good.
Like, I think that would be good for her to visualize it more than. I think that would be, and Brad too.
Oh, okay.
Put lots of greens on there.
All right, we've learned a lot today. You've seen a lot, and we've talked about the one thing that you can do with your family this week, and write it down at the bottom of your page, on page 14. Now, turn to page 14, because we want to set the goal. Should be your last page. Yeah. It says Lean Start Goal. So, page 14. So now you get a chance to take that home and read it with your family, and be able to share it in your community. I want you to share it with friends. And if you're part of any ministry, Sunday schools or anything, start incorporating it. Maybe you can help someone else. And, Okay, now, are there any questions? Because we're just about to come to a close, and I have just been so impressed by you all. I see that you got it now. This makes me feel good. Was there any questions that you had in any area? I know that Dr. Sears covered quite a bit, Dr. Bill did, and we've discussed all the areas, and we now know that we need to chew slower. Do we not? Okay, and we need to check the different areas of the food. We need to make sure that we check the serving size. We need to check the ingredients on the package. And when we do those things, we are already ahead of the game. Think about one thing you can do with your family this week, and write it down at the bottom of page 14 under your Lean Guide Start booklet. I want you to think of one thing to set a goal for this coming week. In addition to achieving your goal, please do this. In your book, I want you to read session 1. Read the entire traffic light eating and portion control. And also read session 2, which covers breakfast and grains. Right now, I know we have a lot, but is there any questions from anyone? We don't want you to go away and not understand what we've covered on tonight. We've done some extensive reviewing, but I want to remind you that next week, we will be talking about brainy breakfast. You're gonna learn some real tips on what to give your children to make sure that they go out healthy so they'll be able to learn and stay alert at school. And we'll learn about grains. So, and if there's no more questions, let's give yourself a round of applause because you did really well. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a great joy to talk with you about traffic light and portion control with Dr. Sears. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Bye.